Right, so it is actually now the following day. The rest of yesterday was just a washout. It was just a heavy rain shower, like all night. Everything is absolutely soaking on the boat. There was just water everywhere. This morning's been pretty similar. We've had periods of really, really lovely, nice, bright sunshine, followed by incredibly heavy rain showers. So I've only just taken Sky to shore just now. It's about, I think, 10 o'clock, half 10. It did get really cold overnight actually. Up on some of the mountains there's they're looking quite white, so it did get pretty cold. They've had a bit of snow up there, none down at this level thankfully, just incredibly heavy rain, and it's now coming in again. So I think I don't know, do I wait here under a tree or try and head back before it gets too bad? What do you think? She doesn't care, she's just happy to be off the boat. We literally just made it back in time before the heavens really opened, so that was a good call. So Sky and I are back at shore. It has been absolutely miserable this morning. Just heavy shower after heavy shower, and the rain has been, it just feels like ice. But we have finally got a little break in the weather, so I've just brought Sky to shore. We're going to go and check out that waterfall again because we've had so much rain. It's absolutely raging. You can see it from the boat, so we're going to have a look at that. It is bonkers, the amount of water that is coming down that waterfall today. It's like, it's raging. It's absolutely crazy. The water is so powerful, but it's beautiful to see. That's a bit different from when we were up here the other day. I'll put us side by side so you can see the difference. When we were up here before, we could actually easily get down to the bottom of this part of the waterfall at least, and not run the risk of getting swept away. Definitely not going down there today. But the rain has once again come back in, so I think we're going to head back down to the boat. Actually, I've similar site. It's only another 350 metres to a medieval settlement, so we're going to head there just so Skylar can get a bit more of a leg stretching. To be fair, you know, she's 11 in a few months. She doesn't really need too much in the way of exercise when we were out on the boat, bless her. So it'll just be a nice bit of stimulation for her so she's not cooped up all day. Well, we have made it here to the medieval settlement. I was hoping there'd be some sort of information board about the history of the place, but I haven't found one. Pretty cool though. Ah, there's one. Let's see what it says. Oh, it's a bit boggy. Oh dear. That's sweet. So it's like a little farming, lots of livestock outpost from the 16th century. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Would have been quite hard living up here then, eh? Pretty cool little spot, isn't it? So I've just walked a bit further on. It literally, this path just stops. So what I am going to do, I am going to go back down to the boat now, because it looks like we've got another weather front coming in, which I don't want to be hanging around for, if I'm honest. So yeah, but no, it's been great. It's quite a cool we haven't anchored at this spot before. We've anchored near here, a bit further down. So I wasn't aware that this was here, but I think from now on, this is going to be my number one anchor spot. We've got waterfalls, medieval settlements, and then a mile down the road, a squirrel hide, which hopefully next time we're here, I'll be able to make better use of. You can literally see the weather front, so rain, 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 rain. And no rain up there. The weather continued to flip-flop from heavy rain downpours to beautiful sun for the rest of the day. So it's now the evening and we were just hoping to put the central heating on one last time before bed. However, we seem to have got some sort of electrical issue and the batteries aren't charging. So we did try turning the engine on to get some charge into them, but it wouldn't climb over 12 volts. So there is a bit of a connection issue, we think, or there's definitely some sort of issue going on. Now the batteries is something that I think we are going to replace, having done the shakedown trip so far. However, that doesn't help us at this point, and I mean at the moment we're on 11.9 volts, and even with the windmill going, we've got an issue somewhere. So I think Tim's going to have a look in the morning, and then depending on how that goes will depend on what the plan is. We were hoping to get down to the Isle of Bute and up to the Burnt Islands. However, that might change if we don't have any power. So we'll find out in the morning and if Tim can fix it.
Another day, another weird electrical gremlin. The alternator's not charging the house bank. So I checked it and the alternator is kicking out 13.8 volts, which is kind of what you'd expect if it was working, but it just doesn't go anywhere from there. If I check the next point of contact in the cabling, it's coming out like 12.6 volts. So despite the fact there's a little bit of cable that's bolted on two ends, somehow between those 2 points there's no electricity going through it. So gonna have to just sort of strip it down and have a quick look and just see if I can't figure out which points are not working and get them connected up, because we have no power in the batteries right now. Okay, well, fiddling it around, played with a few cables, cleaned them up a bit, and the battery is charging. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the background, probably not, but the voltmeter is registering a charge, and the split relay is also showing that it's charging. I think it's just cabling that's just, I don't know, the connectors are a bit dirty, but I've cleaned them all. I cleaned them all the other day, which seemed to work. Also had a slight panic in the middle of this where the engine wouldn't start at all, which is not great because we're about 5 hours away from the sort of closest marina. So, but I think again that was just a loose connection, because as you can hear, the engine is now running fine. So hopefully we're good to go. I'm gonna let it run now and charge up the batteries, because we're pretty flat. Joe's still on shore, but she'll be back shortly, and then it's time to head off down to Bute.
Hey you. We have just pulled anchor here at Carrick Castle, and we're heading now down to the Isle of Bute. Well, that is the aim anyway. We're going to see what the water and wind conditions are, when we get out of Loch Long, but hopefully we're going to be able to get down to the Burnt Islands and anchor down there overnight.
Coming down the Firth of Clyde, we were able to get our head sail out and do some motor sailing as we headed down towards Bute.
Back there.
With our batteries now charged and our confidence levels boosted, we were able to get the mainsail out and do some proper sailing. However, our sailing didn't last for too long because in true Joe and Tim fashion, everything changed. The wind picked up and it actually caused the rope holding our head sail to break where it fits onto the roller reefing. So with our sails now in, Tim got to work trying to make a fix so that we would be able to still do some sailing for the last few days of our trip. However, the winds at this point had turned as we were coming up the East Kyle and was in our face. So while we did get a fix in place, we weren't able to sail any further. With the wind on our nose, coming up this part of the East Kyle was a bit bouncy. However, the further up we got, the calmer it did get. Having successfully navigated our way through the North Channel up through the Burnt Islands, we headed over to our favourite anchorage in this area. And this is where we dropped anchor and stayed for the night in this lovely sheltered bay. Next time, our shakedown trip hits some rocky ground when we have some engine issues. We attempt a nighttime photography excursion and have a wet trip back to Arby Marine.